Let me do a demo on the CloudIQ. Let me log in to my CloudIQ. I'm going to show you the what I call it, the retail demo for this. So it will take a while because I'm going to connect to my network. So I'm going to do a retail demo. So this is accessing the cloud that we have in the GDC. GCD is actually the Google Cloud. So you can see the retail is now in the Google Cloud, right? So let's show you the cloud view here now. So if you look at the cloud view, earlier on I'll show you that because this changed daily, right? So today we have 5.7 petabyte of information, right? And you can see these are all the customers that we have. The color differentiate, like the dark color, we are looking at close to 100,000 devices. The light blue one is about 75,000, and this is 50,000. The very light blue one is 25,000 devices. So you can see APAC itself, we have quite a number of customers in Asia Pac, right? So if you look at current activity, number of clients, we have close to 1,993,000 clients. And per day, we have 1.8 million clients per day, right? We are looking at a daily session about 55 minutes, right? And the management event, 4.63 billion management event, right? So these are number of VIQ is actually the cloud instance that we have for the customer. There's 93,000 of them, and then 767 devices managed by cloud, which is the AP or switches. Number of login, you look at it, is about 8,000 over login per day, right? And then over here, show you the client distribution. Half of it is iOS, the other 2/3 is Android, and then some Windows 7 and others, right? And then if you look at the special client special stream, predominantly, most of them are still on 2x2 MIMO because all the new devices, smart devices are 2x2. You have still some legacy 1x1 devices. I will say about maybe less than half, and then some 3x3 MIMO devices, about 1%. In terms of channel utilization, a lot of them are still on 20 megahertz. 80 megahertz getting popular because of the smart devices, the new devices, the AC devices that support 80 megahertz. And then you have 40 megahertz also on the 11N devices. Right? So these are the distribution you can see from the cloud view itself. Right? There's a lot of information. So let me show you the Network 360. So Network 360 actually give you a very good view of your entire network, depending on how big. So I have all these locations. Right? So let me show you one location. Right? So I can zoom down to main store here. Right? So this is the main store. I have about probably close to 10 AP here. Right? And the location of the AP. Now I can look at the topology view. This is something very new that we provide. So you have a topology view to see how are the device connected, right? So I have all this AP that is connected to this store switch, and this store switch is connected to the router and then go to internet. So that is the view from the topology. You can look at all this link here. If you see the link rate, it means that there's some connectivity problem between this AP to this switch here. So this one will give you a good view, topology view, right? And then here actually show you how is a scorecard of your network overall. So by one look, I know my network is good. My device, 96% is excellent. Client, 84%. Wi-Fi means all your radio, 94%. Network, which is your network site itself. There's sometimes problem may be a network site. And then the services is mainly your DNS, your DHCP services, and the application. So let me go through one by one here and show you. So in the device view, you look at number of AP. So it gives you a graph. So like I said, we store data up to 90 days, right? So you can zoom or you can scroll to the number of 24 hours. And last 24 hours is a device. What is the score? 96%, right? 10 devices are connected. All are connected. None of them disconnected. In terms of configuration firmware, 44 of them are updated. The other 6 haven't updated the firmware, right? And then in terms of hardware, health of the CPU utilization, memory are very low, which is good, right? And then also any alarm that is coming out, right, from the device. So this one gives you a device view, that means your AP or switches, right? And then you have the client view itself. So from the client perspective, you have 86%, which is quite good, right? Your 75% of the Wi-Fi score. Network is 100%, application is 100%, which is good. So 2.4 mainly 5 gig. So you have 11 devices on 5 gig. So these are the channels that have been used. And most of the device are 1 by 1 and 2 by 2. You can see that. And then this is a channel utilization. What channel has been used? Channel 1, 2.4, 5 gig, right? And then the supported channel bandwidth, 20 megahertz, 40 megahertz, and 80 megahertz. You have device that's 80 megahertz. Spatial stream, 1 by 1, 2 by 2. What kind of devices? 11 GN and AC devices, right? So these are the devices from the client itself. And then you can look at, now I want to look at network. So in terms of network, unicast traffic, broadcast traffic, my network availability, what is the performance, internet performance, 18 milliseconds, which is good. And any 2 gig usage is about 2 gig, right? Availability and all these things, right? Gateway, connection, what is the latency of the AP. So this one give you network view, which is good. Sometimes may not be the Wi-Fi when you want to look at network. And then the Wi-Fi view, right? Wi-Fi will give you the signal strength, right? Over a period of time, let's say over 24 hours, I want to see my Wi-Fi view. So 94% is very good, right? My SNR is 31 dB. Channel utilization, 1 interference, and the rest is about 64%. It's still quite okay. And then your association ratio, 2.4 versus how many clients, right? And also the SNR value. All these things you can have a look at it in more detail, right? So this is from the Wi-Fi itself. And then you can look from the DHCP, right? Just look at so you can look at your services. Services refer to your back end, like your DNS server, your DHCP, whether it's working properly, what is the delay from the DHCP, right? And if you have NTP, what is the NTP delay? So this one give you a very good view of your back end itself, whether it's working normally, right? And then your application. Now I can look at application. What are the applications that is using in my network? Perimeter, you have a lot of people go to Amazon and Target quite a lot, right? And then you can all the percentage, which store from where and all those things. So this view will give you overall view of this. And then if you want to look at heat map and all this, yeah, it can be done. So I can go into heat map now. Let's say I'm going to look at 360. The 360 plan will give you the heat map, right? So I can look at my coverage. RSSI, is it good? So far, very good, all very good. And then I can look at SNR value. Where's my SNR value? 25 dB, very good, right? Channel utilization, all these things, whether my channel has been utilized properly. So you can look at all this. So this is, you can look at a particular floor and all these things, right? Whether it's 2.4 or 5 gig, you can actually look at that also, right? Now I want to show you Client 360. Client 360 is the next level of client that give you more information on the client, right? So you give you the average RSSI, the signal strength, Wi-Fi, supported mode, right? From the store. So let's say I want to pick a client. Let's say somebody complain, or maybe my client have a problem. I can search the client here. Let's say client name, client name James, and now I'm looking at James Galaxy. So this one actually provide you a view of how James Galaxy S8 is connected. So it's connecting onto my AP, this AP number 4 on VLAN 1, and user VLAN, management VLAN is 1, user VLAN is 151, 1511, 1512, and all those user VLAN. It also connected to my store switch 1 on port 24, and then the router, the VPN, all the way to the internet. So you can see end-to-end connection from here, how it's being connected. And here will give you the view of where is this device here from the location perspective. So James is around here, connected here, right? And then you can go down and see more information about the performance, right? He look about 5.8 and then 58 meg over the last period of time. These are the AP that you roam, right? So it show you association, authentication, DHCP, gateway, and DNS. Any of this rate means there's some problem, right? So you can look at the delay here. What is the average time and all those things, right? How many milliseconds for roaming and all those things, right? All these are shown here, right? So I can actually change this view to, let's say, a week. Let's say I want to look at a week data, right? So now I got more information here, right? So a week of data, right? So I can see whether this guy so far so good, right? All this information is available from the client itself, right? And then you can look at the application. What is he doing, right? So he spend most of the time in Amazon, right? And Target and some SSL traffic. So you can look at application itself, right? And then from the client is running 40 and 80 megahertz, 11 AC, right? One by one. So this is from the client 360, which is really powerful, right? And then now we can also look at comparative analytic. Comparative analytic actually provide you, based on your number of AP, your retail store, I can compare with another retail store, same size and where you score, right? So which is quite good, 50% in number of client and all those things. So we can give you this kind of comparative from the machine learning because we collect so much data across the entire network. Now I can do comparative between your setup and some other setup in the same size. What's your score, right? In terms of client, which is 100%, which is good, right? So this is comparative. So the other thing I want to show you is the retail dashboard. This is something that just now all those information I show you is for the IT manager. The IT manager is interested in the connectivity, your connection and all this. But now we also create a dashboard for the store man, right? So if I'm a store manager, I'm interested in this. And I don't worry about what connectivity, all this is done by the IT. But the store manager will be interested in this kind of dashboard, like how many users currently connected to my network, where are they, right? 6 of them are in grocery, 3 of them in the deli. The location will give you this information. How many people come in first time? 70% are first time. 61 of them, 70 of them are first time, 61 of them are repeat, right? How much time they spend how many of them spend 30 minutes one? How many of them spend long time? All this I can give you the average shopping time, and then average time per department, right? So in the retail earlier on I mentioned, we actually store up to a year of data. So I can go for 1 year to show you. Actually 13 months. We go up to 13 months, right? So I can show you 13 months of analytics, right? What is the information that you get? So this is really useful for a storeman. So I can pick and choose which store I want to look at from the insight itself, from the analytic, right? So this is the retail dashboard that we created for a store manager. So next, I want to show you what we call it, the co-pilot. Remember I talked about machine learning and AI. So we have a co-pilot that will be launched probably in the next 3 to 6 months, right? So assuming you have a network setup and there's an alarm come out in Vancouver. So in this case, I have an alarm in Vancouver. Let me click on the alarm and see what is it. Okay. So the alarm tell me that I have a event. We discover one device that need attention. So let's see what is this device. So I click on this to show me, okay, this device is a AP connecting to the switch and all the way back. So there's some alarm on this device. Let me click, what is it? So you say that based on the advanced analytic machine learning there's some problem. So let's look at what is it. So from the analytic, from the machine learning data collected over a period of time, all the metadata, we find that this AP has some issue that may fail in maybe a week's time, right? So it predict that this AP is going to fail in a week's time. So they ask you whether do you want to send a new AP. That means you ask for what they call it, RMA, right? Send for RMA. So yes. So I say, yeah, your RMA have been processed. So basically what the system do is create a ticket to my GTAG and log a call to the GTAG saying that we want to do RMA for this device. So depending on your SLA, let's say your SLA is 48 hours, next business day, right? So next business day, the system will already prompt you saying that there's a new AP coming in with this serial number. Do you want to onboard the AP? I say, okay. Now I got the AP coming in. Let me onboard the AP with this serial number. So I onboard the AP onboarded. You receive the AP, right? So now you go and replace the AP, the 40 AP. Click here. All the configuration from the previous AP will be loaded to this AP. And then your AP is replaced and is running successfully. So you avoid one failure that will be happening. So this is what the co-pilot can provide you. Predict that there's some problem, replace it before the user complain, you already know, and then you fix it. So now you prevent one outage. That is the kind of co-pilot that we are talking about. Okay. So that is the demo I have for Extreme CloudIQ. So now we go and talk about air defense. So basically, we have this security platform called Air Defense. Basically, with the wireless, everything changed, right? In the past, you have firewall that block traffic coming from the internet, but now in wireless, I can be sitting anywhere and actually connect to the network, right? Whether it's a parking lot or a rogue AP or what, I can actually access. So what does the wireless security concern? Basically, there are few security concerns. One is someone plug a rogue AP on your network and then they connect using rogue device, try to connect to this rogue AP. Now I can access to your network, right? Or someone may take a laptop and convert into a AP and advertise the same SSID as your AP. So now your client will try to connect to this AP and then I can steal all the client information, right? And then the other one. The third one is you may configure an AP plug onto your network, but you may not follow the compliance. Let's say your company policy requires 64-bit encryption, right? For the WPA, but you configure WEP. The system will be able to detect and tell you that you have a non-compliant AP. Right? So these are the third one. And the fourth one is basically you may have a laptop wirely connect to your network, but wirelessly connect to outside network. So now your laptop become a launch pad for hacker to come in and access your network. So these are some of the security concerns, right? So with Air Defense is actually currently it's an on-prem solution. Basically, you have your AP, basically act as a sensor and then send the information back to the appliance. Then we can do dedicated sensor or radio share sensor. If we are using our AP, I can serve the client at the same time do sensor, right? So you can provide 24/7 basically provide you with all the security forensic analysis of this. So what Air Defense can do is we have actually more than 200 over threat signature can detect all kind of rogue detection, right? And then we actually, because the sensor is sitting there collecting data is 24/7, so I can provide you with forensic analysis. So we collect like 325 plus statistic per device per minute. So there's a lot of data that we collect. And then since we collect so much data and store in the data store, now I can rewind back and tell you what is the problem 2 months ago, right? I can rewind back 2 months or 3 months, depending on how long you store the data, right? And we can see all the threat and all those things happening, right? So this is what Air Defense can do advanced forensic. We can do PCI compliant, HIPAA compliant, depending on which vertical that you have, right? And also we have a live view to provide you connectivity and packet captures capability. So with Air Defense, now I can geofence your environment. I can actually do a geofence so that people from the parking lot cannot access. Someone plug a rogue AP on the network, I will block it. Someone misconfigure the AP, I will tell you this AP is misconfigured. If someone try to connect laptop to outside AP, we can detect it and block it also. So this is how we do it. So the reason how we can do this is we have 4 engines. Protocol abuse engine will detect all various 802.11 protocol. Anomalous behavior. Basically, if a hacker, they will try to scan and all this, we can detect, okay, this is not a normal user. We can block that, right? And then the signature analysis, we have the 200 plus signature, right, track. And then we have the policy manager that detect whether you have non-compliant. So all this data are collected. Once we detect any of this by the sensor, there's three things we do. We either wirelessly terminate the device. We can block the wire spot where you plug a rogue AP on the Ethernet switch. We block that port on the switch. The port can be managed, right? Or we can do a wireless access control list. So these are a few things that we can do with air defense, right? And then if you want to know whether your network is PCI compliant or HIPAA compliant, we do generate this kind of report and tell you how compliant is your network. Right? So we can generate those reports before the auditor come and audit your network. You can run this first and see whether you are compliant or not. So from the rogue AP detection, there are various kind of rogue that we can do, right? So first one, most of the vendor can do it. Rogue AP on the wired network with the AP there. This is, even the controller can do it. But number two, rogue AP on the different segment may not be able to detect, right? Let me move my mouse so that I can show you. Right? And then rogue AP using encryption, right? Which you may not have a sensor there or what they call it, AP there. Or rogue AP on the ACL non-routed user VLAN. Or even a rogue AP on the server farm where there's no wireless network. So most of the vendor will not be able to detect 2, 3, 4, and 5 with their onboard whips, right? So to do all this, you need the advanced air defense whip to detect it. And then another one is AP sitting in the car park, we call this evil twin. So some of the onboard whips on the controller can only do 1 and 6, but 2, 3, 4, 5 cannot be detected by some of the rope, the whips that is coming from the controller. So you need air defense. Air defense can detect all this. And beside providing you with a rogue detection, we can also use the sensor to do wireless vulnerability assessment. You say you have a firewall. How do you know your firewall is working? So we use the AP to actually do a pen test to test your firewall to make sure that those ports supposed to be blocked will get blocked. Especially if you have a server, payment server, if your wireless device can access your payment server, something is wrong on the firewall. So you need to block that, right? So this one will help you. You can run this vulnerability assessment every month to check how good is your firewall on your network, whether there's any holes. And then forensic analysis, like I mentioned earlier on, we store the data in the data store. Now I can rewind back 2 months ago to see what happened, whether there's a threat or something happened, right? Because a lot of time, user tell you, oh, there's a problem, but it's last week, but you don't have the data. Now I have the data to see what's going on. And then beside Wi-Fi, we also do Bluetooth detection, right? So we can do, if there's a skimmer in Bluetooth that steals some information, air defense can detect using the Bluetooth, right? So basically, in the Bluetooth scenario, we detect, locate, and then we send an alert to you saying that, okay, these are the Bluetooth device on this network. Please get rid of it, right? So not only Wi-Fi, but also Bluetooth. So that is air defense in a nutshell, right? So now we look at Defender for IoT. So why IoT? Basically, IoT, some of this IoT device running on very old operating system, especially if you have an MRI machine, they may run Windows 98 or 2000 where there's no patch available for security, right? Or some IoT device don't even have a head, right? So basically, it's just running like a sensor. So someone can hack into a sensor. There's a scenario in the casino where the casino actually have a fish tank. The fish tank is connected to their network, and the fish tank actually have a sensor to detect the temperature of the fish tank and also provide some food to the fish, right? So the hacker actually hacked into the fish tank sensor and got into their network and get all the high roller information. So this is the kind of security breach that IoT is very vulnerable, right? So that's why you need to defend the IoT devices. And also we developed application for non-IT staff, like maybe in the healthcare environment will be a nurse or doctor can onboard all these IoT devices without knowing VLAN and policy and all those things, right? So you can actually overlay this network without changing the network. So that is security and simplicity. So what is in the Defender for IoT solution? So we have three components here. You have the Extreme Cloud Appliance, which is appliance that actually manage all these IoT or access devices, right? And then we also developed a Defender application that basically provide you with application so that non-IT guys can actually onboard any IoT devices. And then, of course, the Defender access hardware. So there are two hardware. One is the AP3912, which have 4-port Ethernet port, and the other one is a SA201, which is a wired IoT. So you have a wired IoT device you can connect to this. The AP will provide the wireless, so you can provide policy layer 2 to layer 7, right? So these are the three components that you need, right? So how is a deployment architecture? So you have a centralized Extreme Cloud Appliance that manage all this, and then you can actually do bridge or over IPsec, right? Or you can connect to a Fabric Connect solution or traditional VLAN. So let me show you an example. So this is a Defender IPsec overlay solution. So you may have a traditional campus network, layer 2, layer 3, or right, layer 3 network with MPLS and all those things, right? So what you could do is we could put the IoT appliance on the left-hand side here, Extreme Cloud Appliance, and then at the edge here you can have the IoT Defender, which is the SA201. So this may be a ECG machine, right? Or it may be a AP connecting to a infusion pump wirelessly. So this SA201 will create a tunnel all the way to the cloud appliance and then link to the server. This may be a radiology server, right? That provide cardiac service, right? Or it could be an infusion pump sending information to this server. So you have a secure tunnel, right? So this is standard traditional campus network overlay with. So you just need to buy this and this one, right? And the application, right? Another solution is traditional IP network, right? Same thing. You have the AP or the Defender, and then you create all the tunnel all the way, right? From this device to this device. From this one all the way to the device. So you can have a tunnel created, right? IPsec tunnel created from the AP, right? Or if you are using Extreme Fabric solution, Extreme Fabric Connect, so we can extend the fabric to the edge, called the fabric attached. So all these devices can be fabric attached to the fabric, and then you create a hyper segmentation end-to-end to the device. So that's how you do. So there are three different ways of doing using the connectivity. So like I mentioned earlier on, we have this application that can do profile creation. So I can let's say I have an IoT device here. I have a Defender here. I plug the IoT device here. So we run this profile creation, right? So you will open up all the port. The traffic from here will flow to your server. And then you will capture all this traffic. And then you apply the policy to this Defender here. So that no other traffic will pass. Only this traffic will pass. Other thing will be dropped by this box. So this is like a mini firewall, will drop everything except this traffic go through. So that's how we protect. So if someone hack into here, if someone hack into this device, you will get blocked, right? Or if this device get infected, you will not infect other device, right? You get blocked, right? Similarly, if an infusion pump in some wireless infusion pump, if someone try to steal some information, you get blocked also. Or try to access this, you'll get blocked. So this is how you protect the IoT devices. And this is the profile generation. So you run this, you will learn what traffic coming in and then create a firewall rule in here, right? And this firewall rule can be applied to the device, right? So as a nurse, I can come and say, okay, I want to connect this infusion pump to this device. So I just select assign to what infusion pump or MRI machine. So non-technical people can actually provision the IoT and apply all the policy to it. You don't need to know what is VLAN, what is firewall and all those things, but you can apply that. That's what we develop application, Defender application. So this is some statistics. So you can now do inventory. What are your IoT device on your network? So a lot of IT people do not know IoT, cannot manage the IoT, so they don't know how many. So now with this tool, you'll be able to see how many IoT devices are on your network. You can manage them, what is the performance, where are they connected to, all those things can be done. So what is the use case? So with now, everybody working from home, quarantine and all this, now you can actually extend your network to the home, right? By using IoT Defender, connect to, let's say, some devices on your network, whether it's wireless or wired. Now I can monitor this. What is this guy doing? Can do home patient care example. This is a home patient care, right? And you can also do location tracking, right? If you have a floor plan, you can see where's this device. So I think that's all I have.